I'll call the meeting to order. Welcome, everyone. If you had an opportunity to look at minutes.
I'll make a motion to approve minutes from previous meeting.
I'll second that motion. Motion has been made and seconded to approve minutes. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Agenda.
I have nothing to add.
Make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the proposed agenda. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. You have anyone coming, Scott, or?
Nope, just getting your approval to hire.
Okay. Have you offered to someone, or?
Offered, it's been pending in passing his paramedic, which he did in last week, and he took the job
Okay.
and started officially April 1st.
Who did you?
Bob Murley
Bob.
from Sac City here. He's been filling in since Julie left, and we kind of, like December, made the offer pending him passing his classes, and he did, so. Official start date, I just need approval from the board.
He's an EMT,
Paramedic.
paramedic.
Do you need a motion for that?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve Bob Murley for, or a paramedic.
Yep, our full-time slot that's open.
Full, okay.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the hiring of Bob Murley, full-time for the ambulance service. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried.
He's, wife, 2 little kids, military, so insurance
so-
isn't an option or an issue.
Huh.
We won't need our health care.
So is he still in reserve, or?
Yep, he's in reserve. Been working out pretty good, but like I said, December I kind of offered it and then passed it, so.
Okay. So you're full
Full
staff?
staff, finally.
Good.
Class is going good, 9 in it, all from Sac County. Halfway through it now.
Right.
Class is that? EMT class.
So that'll be May or so?
Yeah, the end of the college semester, so first week or 2 of May, that'll be complete.
Yes, sir.
That's about what's going on out there.
Gordy's still,
He's still rocking and rolling. Or rocking, I don't know how far we're rolling. But that's all I have.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Thank you. Short meeting today?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like
We'll,
I'm in.
we'll be
You go
waiting
home,
for the
yeah.
engineer.
Paper routes.
See ya. Yeah, thanks, Scott.
That's only because I already did one.
I'll take a minute and look at claims. We have, and I spoke to a couple of state people when we were down there last Thursday and Friday, but we have a dilemma coming up. When they did this redesign for our mental health stuff, I thought they, and this was a surprise to me, that they still had the $1996 cap for counties for levying for mental health, and I thought that was all gone. I mean, when they did their new effort, I thought all that was gone. Well, it's not. They claim it's still part of the plan, and the reason it's a problem is, and it's not just our region but all over. Some of them had a maximum levy cap when you converted it to per capita to anywhere from less than 30 up to the maximum of the 4728. Well, if you were stuck with the 30, now you can't levy we, like, for example, we levied 35 this year, region-wide, and if you didn't have the capacity, you could fulfill that with reserve money to get you up to the 35 if you didn't have the levying capability. Well, when those reserve funds are gone, then these counties are gonna have a problem.
Yeah.
And if we have to go back down to the least common denominator of everybody, so it's that $30, everybody's broke. And so we need to get them to allow the flexibility to go to the 4728 if you need it to operate. Otherwise, those that have the levying capability will be asked to go back to the 4728, and there might be some stuck down below 30. And so that,
So the big levy counties are gonna have to support the small.
that's correct, and which is absolutely inequitable.
Yeah.
And so we need to, and ISAC, I talked to that Jamie Cashman, and that's what they're proposing. They're trying to get them to allow us to adjust to the need, not to the.
That's something the legislature needs to take
It will, yeah. DHS wouldn't have the authority. But it's a big deal because it was supposed to be a per capita levy, and if you have to go to the least common denominator, everybody's broke. In time, everybody will be broke, because if you have some reserve dollars to backfill that inability to levy to the need of the region, then you're okay until that money runs out. Excuse me for a second. This is the full suit.
Oh, really?
We got it?
Yeah. So you want a photo of it, I would imagine.
I sure would.
Yeah.
All 30 pages of
Do
it?
you want Norma to just email it to you?
She probably could do that.
Sure.
too.
If it exists as a PDF, then
Look,
that's all I'm doing too.
you want to ask her?
I'll just ask her.
Just, if you would, go ahead. Otherwise, you can hold this. That's 3 complete copies.
There's some light reading for you.
Oh, man, it's front and back, too.
Oh, yeah.
It's written in legalese, so.
Was it something you could get, Curtis?
Ben's on the phone, so I gotta wait for him to come out. But hopefully.
I think I'll read that before I go to bed, because it'll help put me to sleep.
It just makes me madder, so.
What was most irritating to me this morning was to see that they were advertising in their article to solicit money to what they're calling a defense fund, not a plaintiff fund.
Well, that was in the press release they sent to everybody.
The Des Moines Water Works sent to everybody.
Yeah.
Not-
But it was in the Des Moines
but it's
Register.
in-
Well, you know, they're the hometown paper.
Well, I know, but they don't even have it right. They said, they call it defense fund. It's not a defense fund. We're the defense.
We're the defendant. They would be the plaintiff, so that they should identify it as a plaintiff's fund.
Well, again, the Des Moines Register, I mean, you've been reading the articles.
No,
They
I
clearly
haven't.
feel that they're being attacked.
There has been no adequate or effective response to nitrate pollution from drainage systems.
The voice of the Des Moines Register is not one of a disinterested third party that's just recounting the facts.
I understand that, but that's not the way it should be. It should be presented as covered news, not promoting one side or the other.
How many bullet points do they have in their statement of facts?
Pardon?
In their statement of facts section, how many bullet points do they have? Go on for pages?
How far back would that be?
I don't know, would be part of the petition. I'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah.
We can-
Ben?
Interesting read, huh?
Wow, we're just getting started here. Have you had an opportunity to look?
I got it late yesterday from that Halber guy.
Oh,
What they do is they can set alerts on these pacer accounts, the accounts that kind of like our state EDMS system. And I'm sure he just set an alert for it. No, I haven't. I don't know if they did.
what we had learned so far was that they had filed the cover page, but didn't have the suit behind it.
The reason why I'm guessing, and the reason I came in, Curtis, is it's 18 megs, and Adobe's not letting me send it. Do you have a Dropbox?
I have a Dropbox. I also have just this. Got a USB.
Yeah. What I think happened is that the file was so large that the Fed, if I had to guess, that's why the cover sheet went through, but they had to make an exception or something for. You want a copy?
How's 30 page?
I don't have anything with me.
I'll give you a hard copy.
That'll work.
Okay. What'd you say?
I'm just wondering how 30 pages ends up being 18 megs.
Yeah, it's just paper.
Well, I think that if you see those embedded links,
There's more than 30 pages.
there's
Oh.
80 pages.
Oh, okay.
It's 80 pages, but it's also, I mean, there's a bunch of embedded, like,
There's maps and,
yeah, if there's photographs of any
There's
kind whatsoever.
graphics and stuff, I can see it
Yeah.
getting up that big pretty quick. Showing a picture of water coming out of a tile doesn't.
yep.
Oh, you can tell a lot from that, can't
Pretty
you?
exciting stuff.
Oh, geez. I'm just of the impression that this is a case that's going to set a whole lot of precedents and things of that nature. You guys are gonna be famous.
Alternately, in addition to relief under CWA and Iowa Code Chapter 455B, the discharge of nitrate pollution into the Raccoon River by the drainage district constitutes a nuisance, trespass, negligence, an unconstitutional taking of rights secured to Des Moines Water Works by the Constitution and the law of the United States. And so pretty much indicating that they have proprietary ship to the water. And the spokesman last week had an article about them saying they were going to sue Urbandale for infringing on their rights to the water. Northern District of Iowa. So it's Sioux City.
That's the federal level. This wasn't filed on a state level, it was filed.
It would have got tossed immediately if they did it.
Would have got kicked upstairs.
Well, it would have gotten eliminated.
Toss for jurisdiction?
Pardon?
Toss for jurisdiction?
Yeah, actually, there's absolutely no rule of law that they can even try under in the state of Iowa. They would have to go to the federal.
Okay, 80 pages.
So how does this pass now? Does like Bennett just read through this?
And then our attorneys will file a response, and I think they've got like 20 days to do it, I believe.
And then he reads that?
And then determines, part of the first moves I would anticipate would be that we would file that there's no rule of law for this to be.
And then if he comes up and says there is no rule of law, then it's just basically dropped then, or?
Well, then they can appeal.
Then appeal to,
The next level, appellate court of the United States.
and that would be where?
I'm not sure where that would be. It's probably in Washington, isn't it?
Well, the appellate level, you could end up in Chicago or something. I'm sure they've got a.
Are there multiple?
I think so.
Okay.
Kansas City, sound right?
Kansas
It
City,
could
Kansas
be.
City, Chicago,
Minnesota, or Minneapolis.
yeah, probably Minneapolis.
Do you think there are appellate courts in all those places?
Not in all those places, but in the big enough city type thing.
It would have to be regionalized
Right.
somehow,
Yeah.
It's
I
gotta
would
be
think,
regional.
I don't know.
And I have a pretty strong memory of something going to Kansas City one time.
Really?
That was kicked up like that.
But see, the big part of this will be, there will be motions filed, and those motions can go up and down
Yeah.
several times before you even get to the court case.
Well, where do you guys have to, where is this actually filed at? Is this in Des
Sioux
Moines?
City.
Sioux City?
Yeah. There's
Okay, I see.
two
I see.
districts in Iowa, and South District, Des Moines, North District, Sioux City.
So that's where you're going to file your answer then?
I assume they will. And there'll have to be a court or a judge assigned to this. And Judge Bennett is one of them right now. I don't know if there are others or not.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
You get to that level, I don't know who anybody is.
Yeah, I don't wanna know.
Not personally, at least.
Make a
No.
motion
Yeah,
to
okay.
have claims on them for $137.56.
I will make a motion to pay the claims of $130,756.57.
You have the original.
Yep.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded to pay claims on the register. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Start working through these. But we need to look at, or are you done?
I'm done, so
Okay.
you can,
Okay. Do we have the proposal for the spraying?
Yep.
Okay.
thinking, could you imagine every drainage district in Iowa having to put some sort of nitrate removal system at the end of every
Each
pipe?
tile.
I mean, how is that cost effective?
They're high maintenance too. When they try and do that, they're very high maintenance. And then you're gonna slow down the flow.
Mhm.
And everybody, nobody's ever happy and you know, with.
Can't get it out of there fast
Can't get it
enough.
out of there fast enough, you aren't.
Mhm.
And,
Well, yeah, and if you slow down the flow, the headaches it's gonna cause downstream and everything, I mean, it's just,
There's just no end to it.
I also, one other thing caught my eye with that article that came out of the paper. They are suing for financial damages. That one said $584,000. I don't know if that's named in here or not, but this is just one small piece of,
Yeah.
from Stormlight to Des Moines. How can you file a financial claim against this dinky spot when everybody is providing the same?
Yeah.
Well, I'm skimming, but it looks like they've narrowed it down to these 3 counties.
That's because those are the only ones they tested. They didn't test anywhere else. That's my point. That, there would be no reason for those levels to be any higher, or any higher here than they would be anywhere between here and Des Moines, I guess is what I'm saying.
So, assuming that they get some sort of an injunction or remedy for this, then as trustees, do you have to go to all those landowners that empty into those ditches and tell them that they can't, if they're not in the district, they have to cut those tile off?
No,
How do
because
you fix
if
it?
this suit is naming drainage districts, the west 2/3 of Sac aren't in a designated drainage district, so there's zero control. I mean, the only control we have is cleaning the ditches and fixing the pipe. There is no official district on.
Oh, I understand that, but the guy whose farm is right next to DD 81, and he has some private tile that empties into that DD 81 or into that open ditch. You tell him he can't do that anymore?
That's what they're wanting, I guess. I mean,
Yeah.
the other significant part is that they didn't. The last 2 years was a perfect environmental storm to make these levels high, drought and then saturation, and now 3-4 years in advance of that, they hadn't ran their operation. And the other thing, I had a call from a Tyler. They certainly have a vested interest because they want to maintain their business. But he threw out to me who created the threshold of 10 parts per million. The Europeans have 50 parts per million, and wondered how they chose or identified the 10. That usually the Europeans have a much stricter, more regulated environment than most. And he was inquiring about, okay, who decided that the 10 parts per million was a threshold?
EPA or DNR or?
But where'd they get their
Yeah.
information, or
Yeah.
how did they determine what?
The only thing I could figure is at what threshold does blue baby syndrome happen at?
But don't you think that would be a consideration in Europe as well?
You would think so. Though I've never been to Europe, but I've always been told that Europeans don't necessarily drink water very often because their water sucks.
I see.
I mean, I've always been told that. I don't know that for a fact.
That was an interesting question. Okay, who set that threshold, and how did they determine that was the right threshold? So it was just interesting.
One guy from Storm Lake said we should dig a ditch from the raccoon to the buoyer and just dump the raccoon river into the buoyer and be done with it.
Let it go to the Missouri River
Yeah,
instead of
yeah.
the Mississippi River.
Route that through Black Hawk Lake to kind of freshen that up.
I would entertain a motion to pay drainage claims.
Oh, so move.
I'll second the motion. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries. Drainage claims will be paid. We have maps of the brush control. We do an annual 3-year rotation of spraying brush in our open ditches. B&W control specialists. Do that job.
I'll make a motion to B&W control specialists spray the joint county drainage districts, $60,750.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded to approve the brush control for 2015. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
I need 2 signatures on that, Rick.
Okay. A lot of these are joint districts that 81 of, we share with Koki and BV and Calhoun.
Did you notice they were, when you came into town, where they were cutting down the trees and everything there?
Made that pile.
Yeah, and then they had a crane down in the gully there.
Oh,
To the-
there's
to the
been one
east
sitting there
there.
for a while. The big
Yeah.
one, you mean?
Well, they were actually down into the east there, not the big one. There was a
Oh, no, I didn't notice that.
not a crane,
Backhoe,
backhoe,
or excavator, yeah.
type thing, and they were ripping out trees and shit. And I'm going, what the hell are they doing over there?
I talked to I've got a relative that works for Iowa DOT in Des Moines, and he said something about they were drawing up the contracts for the brush removal, and he said that the contract for the brush removal was quite high. He says, is there that many trees, that need to be torn out? And in that stretch, there's quite a few in
Right by the
the right of
rivers.
way.
Yeah,
And then off and on, north and south.
but where I saw that excavator at, sure seemed an awful long ways away from the
Oh,
bridge.
really?
Yeah, it was on the other side of that parking area, on the west side of that parking area.
On the west side?
Yeah, down in the gully there.
That is weird.
Jerry Pimble can almost have a toll bridge down there if he route it through his machine shed.
It's not very far off there.
Oh, man, that's tight. I still don't know why they need that additional right away. I mean, and like you said yesterday, that's a perfectly good road. It's got at least 5 years left in it.
Yeah, I'd say 5 to 7. We've been on a lot worse ones, I know that.
Yeah, well, they were already, when I drove by at 7:30, I could see a mile down the road there, and they were already ripping up.
Grinding and.
Yep.
Oh, they've started that process too?
Yeah,
or-
there was, yeah, they had started it late yesterday and they were at it right away this morning.
Where they piling that up?
I think they're trucking it somewhere. That grinder that has an
Yeah.
elevator lift and then they run behind it with a truck. I guess I didn't Ron say yesterday that they were piling it, down on the south end somewhere, cause they were gonna reuse it,
I didn't hear.
by Hostings or somewhere. We will recess until the engineer gets here. We'll come out of recess.
County crews, patching potholes and paved roads throughout the county, graveling roads in Cedar Township south of 255th Street, laying gravel roads, building driveways in Wall Lake, Cook, Delaware, and Sax Township, repairing numerous culvert separations, restocking culvert pipe inventory, scheduling some tile hookups. One reason they're trying to do some graveling in Cedar Township is with the construction on 96 going on, is trying to get some of that hauled out of the Luco pit while we still got access to some of those roads where it's closed some of them out, so. Project status, on the, mill-in pavement markings, we did decide to go ahead and pull our, work zone out of the railroad right away. And so we had to make changes to one of the pages, and while we were doing that, we decided to go ahead and have Zach put his signature block on the plans. So these have been approved before, we just need to have you re-sign one of those 3 blocks. And we'll probably just submit them without Dean's signature. We don't really need all 3 of you. When's Dean gonna be back?
He'll be here next week.
Okay. We might bring him back and you can have him sign. It's a while before we turn in final plans on that. Discuss destination lights at the intersection of 928 and Highway 20. Mike Twilliger from REC called me back yesterday, and it cost $3,444 to get the power down to the north side of Highway 20, and it cost about another $2,100 to bore under Highway 20 to bring power to the south side. Degner has told him he wants power brought down there to that parcel he bought. My recommendation would be that Sac County go ahead and coordinate the installation of this and pay the monthly charge with installation costs shared by Sac County, Calhoun County, and Cole Lyons. Would cost us each about $1,000. The numbers Mike gave me, he said the REC would provide install the light and provide the light, so that's a little bit different than the REC and Sac County. If that don't pan out, there might be a little extra cost for the light, but monthly charge would be, I think, about $9 a month.
Oh, reasonable enough.
I think they haven't changed their billing system yet. I had that looked up at one time, what we were paying. They used to charge $8.75 a month, REC did, and Mid-American was a little cheaper at $5.50, but this is still cheaper than what Raccoon Valley's gonna charge. Right now, the lights that we've got on N28, Calhoun County is paying for 2 of those, and Sac County's paying for 1. So it made sense that Sac County would pay for this one, and then with each county paying for 2 of them on the county line, so.
It's fine.
I do need to talk to Proliant yet to see how much, they will put in for sure, but it sounded like they would be willing to put in around $1,000, so. Again, I think it's best to put the light on the south side, because that's the direction most people will be turning, and it is 10 foot closer to the center of the right of way than the other side, so. If that's okay with you guys, we'll proceed with getting that done. I know REC sort of wanted to know where we're gonna put the light so they can get their permit submitted to DOT to bore underneath there. Item 4, got the contract back from Vogel Traffic Services for the pavement marking project for $38,602.69. We had awarded that contract to them 2 weeks ago, 3, I can't remember when it was sent. So basically, need a motion approving the contract.
I'll make a motion to approve the contract with Vogel Traffic Services.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye, motion carries.
Probably 3 copies.
Sorry.
Is this that property out there at the intersection of Rolfe and Highway 20 that you were talking about?
Doesn't look like it.
Is it a different one? That looks like bigger.
Doesn't look good.
I'm gonna say for $33,000, you're not getting much for your money. Well, there's 2 parcels there, I don't know which one's which.
This is apparently one that they've offered to the landowner, and the landowner has not opted to buy it. And so the next step is to offer to the county to buy it for appraised value. If we don't buy it for appraised value, then we'll have to probably an online auction is what they have been doing, which I assume is what they would do.
Oh, they're doing online auction?
No kidding. Yeah, that's what they did for all, much of the parcel over in Webster County.
Huh.
I haven't seen that they've done any of those in Calhoun yet. Usually when they get to that point, they stick signs up in the fence by those parcels with the number to call or the website to contact. And then you can, bid either online or I assume you can contact the company that's handling it. This looks like it's,
Is there another one? Is this 2 of 3? That's 3 of 3. There's just 2 parcels?
That's all I saw.
Maybe it's just those 2 that they're selling, right?
southwest, northeast. Section 10.
I'll have to look at it a little closer and see what they are.
I'm guessing this is Astleford, next to Astleford there. You wanna know?
Yeah. I'll look for it.
Section 10. Yeah, I think it's this piece right there, that 40, where the interstate, or the Highway 20 comes up, is going diagonal through there. So this would be the piece on the north side of the road. This one would be the piece on the south side.
Do they have access?
Fit together like this.
I don't think they have access.
I was gonna say,
If that's where it's at.
I'm guessing. Don't see anything on there, do you?
Really don't see it.
Does one or both of them have a borrow pit in them?
The one on the north side doesn't. I don't think the one on the south side does either, does it? This is just that, would have been that 40-acre parcel that,
So that south parcel's just over 20 acres, the north one's 8.4.
direct access between the above described parcel land and US 20 and Wadsley Avenue will be prohibited. So yeah, you're buying it without access.
So those are landlocked.
It says the same letter was sent to Sac County Conservation Board.
How, I mean, if you don't have access, whoever's got landlocked can pretty much get it for nothing.
Yeah, yeah.
I assume that's why he's not acting on that offer.
Well, she passed it right? I don't know.
Well, Harold also
Bill, he had the Estabrook property? Oh, okay. Yeah, I didn't hear that, I didn't know his name. But yeah. He's got property on the west side too. Yeah, so he's, I mean, unless somebody wants to bid it, then try to negotiate an access later. Listen, you guys want to keep these, or what do you want? You want us to take them, or?
doesn't matter.
I mean, it said one was sent to us, so.
Doesn't leave it.
You're not interested in the property, are
If it weren't landlocked, then I'm sure other people might be, but if it's landlocked,
you? Other people being, I mean,
other neighbors.
what I'm saying is the county's not.
Oh, no.
So we don't have any use for those
No.
papers.
I mean, if you want me to take them, I can take them, put them, I assume.
I'm gonna throw them away, you take them if you want them, I don't care.
Item 5, Mike negotiated trade of our 2009 John Deere compact track loader for a Cat 299D compact track loader for $66,000. We'd spent about $20,000 on repairing the old machine. What sort of sped this process up is they had some oil leaks underneath, and they took it in to get them fixed. And time they got underneath there and took all the stuff off they needed to get to, they were breaking bolts that they had to heat and get out. We had about a $6,000 repair bill on it. Mike negotiated a $66,000 trade, and they're gonna eat $3,700 of that repair bill, so.
How many hours on the machine?
I don't know if I got
I
that.
don't remember seeing. I know he said he's had problems with it. It's been in the shop more than what he.
That's not very old. 2009 is
No,
not very
It's
old.
not.
This is that little one they go down the ditch with to,
Yep. It's basically a skid loader on tracks.
Pretty good sized skid loader.
Yeah. But it's not a dozer, it's not a big machine. When we took quotes on that, I mean, John Deere was cheaper. I'd have to research it to see how much cheaper they were on the original cost. But we've had a lot of problems with the tracks.
You replaced the tracks.
Yeah, I think we replaced the tightening mechanism. I guess I'm not sure we replaced the tracks or just some of the undercarriage. The tightening tracks, I can't remember.
So does he have this available in the current budget?
Yeah.
Yep.
And then won't be coming back wanting to buy something else? If
I think, I didn't check what we got for balance left in this year. When I talked to him and he sent some stuff on new equipment, back when we were looking at budgets, this was the last thing that he had on there that he was gonna possibly, buy this year. We might have a little bit, we might have $20,000 left in new equipment budget. I'd have to look, I guess, but
That's kind of the number I was thinking of.
after this
After
after that
expense?
expense,
Yeah.
I know when we talked to him in January, he was starting to trying to get some prices on trading the motor grader, but he hasn't put those numbers together yet, I guess.
Well, I guess, we have a budget, and I don't want him coming in and moving a purchase forward into next year and then doubling up, because it's not gonna happen.
Yeah. I mean, he'd started working on trying to look at a trade on this machine back in January. Was starting to try to look at numbers, and then with this extra repair bill, he thought it was a good time to go ahead and pull the trigger and do the trade. They were gonna eat part of the $3,700 repair bill.
Well, that just seems like for an '09, that it takes 66 grand to replace it, seems like it's high.
I had a quick little bit of just looking online, just at prices, and I think this is the difference between buying a new cat versus a John Deere. I mean, I can't remember what the trade value was of this John Deere, but I think that's part of it, is that you're jumping from a John Deere to a cat, and that's why that's.
But I think when we bought it initially, it was
We saved
$50,000.
more than that even, I think 20.
I do go
I'd
back
have
and
to
look
look
again.
at what that was, but.
is this cat any bigger or is it the
It's
same?
20 horsepower, it's actually 20 horsepower bigger, same class supposedly, but 20 horsepower more. But I didn't remember when we were talking new equipment in January, whether, it was on the sheet here, I guess I can't remember whether we talked about it when we were budgeting, that we were planning on, trying to negotiate a trade on that loader or not. But at that time, he'd estimated it was gonna cost $65,000 to trade. So, if you take the repair bill out of here that they're gonna need on this, he did a little bit better than the 65,000.
And again, we won't be sliding things into next year.
Yeah.
He comes in and wants something else.
I mean, new equipment for next year, what we've had in the budget was a new motor grader and a new stone plow truck. And then we talked about that mowing tractor a little bit too, whether you guys said that, that's low priority. And, yeah, we agree with that, so probably wouldn't do anything on that till, I'm guessing next spring, we'll see what kind of winter we have next winter, to see how our funds are going. But I know he's gonna be working on the motor grader trade, but I haven't seen the numbers yet. Same to you about.
No, he hasn't.
last item there, the Highway 196 update. They did close yesterday from D36 to 175. It looks like there's, and I did drive north on 196.
Why'd they have that close going on? They had the pylon off going to north.
Well, when we just came through, they had all the pylons over on the, they were east of the highway on the sort of the turn lane.
Yeah,
There was no,
there is a turn lane for some reason.
Keeping you from going north, right? Because that's what it was.
well, they were clear off on the shoulder though, they weren't on the turn lane, they were clear off.
You can still go north.
Well, yesterday you couldn't, yesterday afternoon.
I don't know if there was confusion when they were setting the signs up, cause, Kim did say that they had road closed signs on the road further north.
Just off of 20, right?
Yeah, so,
I think they were trying to deter people from
Sure.
going that way because it was gonna be closed, maybe, I don't know, but, I mean, it wasn't
well, and it-
anticipated for that section to be closed, I don't think, I mean.
well, technically 196 is closed clear to 20, but I think in the process of getting closed, they put those signs up. I noticed when we came through just now, there was no road closed signs north of 196, or north of 20. So I don't know if they took them out then, or.
Yeah,
I think they wanted them up closer to 20 so that people didn't think they could, drive on through. But,
it's their deal, it's not ours.
yeah. I mean, even if they got the signs up, the local traffic that needs to get through there can, drive around the sign and get through, but I would hope they were gonna push them off. I mean, once this first week, and people get used to it being closed and not being able to get through, they would push them off on the shoulder if they do have them further north, but.
Trying to train people.
We did get a call this morning that they did close the intersection with 330th Street. And it'll be closed for about 2 months, weather permitting, while they work on that. That's the south end, that's down by the curves.
Oh, is that?
Our gravel road that goes east off the curves there. I would guess if they're gonna close it for that long, they must be gonna do a part of the grading work on our gravel road. Cause that intersection on the new plans is about 9.5 foot lower, so I don't know. We'll know more tomorrow, I guess. We'll attend their weekly update meeting tomorrow and see what they have to say.
So how far south on 175 do they have to go to meet that new grade if it's gonna drop that intersection 9 feet?
Well, they'll go clear south, a little bit south of where the curve is now, I think.
So there'll be a T intersection.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But if they're gonna drop that intersection 9 feet, they were gonna have to go quite a ways south to
They're not going a whole lot further past that existing
where
connection
the
with,
curve starts.
right, cause they're gonna do a detour pavement around that to take that curve out. To get that all regraded, I don't think they're going a whole long, very far past that, I don't
Okay.
have the footage or anything, but
Yeah.
I don't think it was very far.
I didn't look either, but what they'll do, and I don't know how soon they'll do that, but they'll come south of the curves there a little ways, take the existing road and build I think they call it a shoe fly, where they move the traffic off to the west side. They'll probably fill the ditch in there for a while and then go up and reconnect with the curve so that they can tear that intersection out and rebuild.
All right. Anything else?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second that motion. Motion's been made and seconded to adjourn. All in favor, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thanks, everyone.